Now, I know you're all expecting dancing pigs, a live DJ, a pink trucker hat. But when I sat down to write today's opening remarks, I realized that I had something more important that I wanted to say. Something that I didn't want to dress up with rhymes. I didn't want to choreograph to music. Something that I think perhaps we all need to hear. I've been a part of this community for a long time, 6 years, in fact. And I've gotten to watch this ecosystem evolve from a band of enthusiastic startuppers leasing a floor in the Bank of America building to the larger, broader, more diverse startup community that we cherish today. I've always been of the opinion that a startup community should grow like a forest, wild, chaotic, and lush. And this community is critically important to our startups. I know, because I have directly benefited from the people, the resources, and the support that our community provides. Now, some of you may have already noticed the glow sticks on the tables. You will each have an opportunity to snap one. I will call out your time when it comes. To those of you who have ever been to a music festival or a midnight rave, please assist your table mates in achieving the maximum glow per stick. There truly is an art to it. And you do have to snap them kind of hard. My company is called Volunteer Local, and it was built by all of us. Allow me to explain. I graduated from the University of Iowa in 2011. I knew that I wanted to get involved in the world of startups, but I wasn't quite sure how to get my foot in the door. So I did what any college grad would do in 2011. I Googled it, and the first thing I stumbled upon was Silicon Prairie News. Silicon Prairie News, of course, is a blog that spotlighted at the time startups in Kansas City, Omaha, and Des Moines. I thought, oh my gosh, what a perfect mix for me. My love of writing combined with my keen curiosity for entrepreneurship. So I called them up. I actually cold called them. And my pitch was, you should hire me. I just graduated. I'm hungry. I want to be a part of your team. Well, they didn't have anything available. So Brittany Maschio from Silicon Prairie News actually did call me back a week later. And she said, hey, Kaylee, I know a guy in Des Moines named Brian Hemisath. He has a company called Volunteer Local, and they're hiring an intern. She said, I think you should apply. So I did. Late. Brian accepted my application, and about a week later, he and Brad Dwyer interviewed me here in Des Moines. It was the first interview that I'd ever done in jeans. I got the internship. It was only later that I found out that the funding for this internship was provided in large part by the Iowa Economic Development Authority, one of our kind sponsors today. To those of you who are here today, on behalf of the IEDA, I want to say thank you for your part in helping to create an internship that allowed me to begin what has become an incredible journey. I would also like to invite you to be our first to take a glow stick from the middle of the table and snap it to life. Later that year, I bought my first car, I got a cat, and I moved here to Des Moines. At that time, Volunteer Local and many startup companies were co-working out of a space downtown called Startup City, which was funded in collaboration by the Greater Des Moines Partnership, the City of Des Moines, Polk County, and again, IEDA. There, we built our product and our pricing. We expanded our customer base. We experimented with some cool marketing campaigns, and I got to hire my very first intern. So those of you who are here today, on behalf of the City of Des Moines, please take a glow stick and snap it awake. Yep, go ahead and snap it. Those of you in the audience who were instrumental in the launch of Startup City or who co-worked with me at Startup City, please take a glow stick and snap it awake. In 2013, my friend Nate Olson started a program down in Kansas City that he called 1 Million Cups. Nate loved coffee. He met up with myself and Aaron Hoffman here in Des Moines, and he said, you two should start it here. You should start a Des Moines chapter of 1 Million Cups. So we did. We had no idea that this was about to be a national phenomenon. Every Wednesday, you could find me flying down Interstate 235. Back then, when we ran 1 Million Cups, 9 a.m. meant a little bit more like 9-ish. One of our first presenters was John Jacobin with his company called Bot, followed by Emma Peterson with Tickley, Levi Rossell with Goodsmiths, Michael Ferrari with Smarty Pig, Jake Kerber from Locusic, Brad Dwyer from Hatchlings, and many others. Even startups that were not active in the downtown startup community, people who were growing their businesses and getting traction from their basements in West Des Moines and Valley Junction. 1 Million Cups brought us all together. It became a soft stage where we could pitch our companies, polish our ideas, and crowdsource from the insight of everybody around us. Those of you in the audience who now manage 1 Million Cups, who have ever pitched at 1 Million Cups, who sponsor 1 Million Cups, or have ever attended 1 Million Cups, please snap your glow sticks. Now's your time. In 2014, I began writing columns for the Des Moines Register's innovation page. It probably comes as no surprise to some of you in the room that this was the result of a cold email, this time to Marco Santana, who was the innovation reporter for the Des Moines Register at the time. He offered me a spot on a rotating column, and I truly will never forget his response to my first submission. He emailed me back and he said, "Kaylee, do you want to cut this in half or should I?" So my face and my lofty opinions were published throughout the year in the paper, and once even on the front page. And this led to a lot of introductions that helped me to grow my business, especially in those early years. So to those of you in the audience who represent publications like the Des Moines Register or the Business Record, first of all, I want to thank you for giving us a voice, for sharing our stories, for talking about the things we were doing and the advocates that were supporting us too. Please take your glow sticks and light them up. In the spring of 2014, many of you will probably recall that one of our most anticipated tech conferences in Des Moines, Think Iowa, which was actually formerly produced by Silicon Prairie News, was abruptly canceled. With over 200 ticket holders and just 4 weeks until the scheduled event, a group of 5 Des Moines entrepreneurs got together at Dos Rios downtown, and they started a brainstorm. Couple bowls of guacamole later, couple rounds of margaritas later, the Iowa Conference was born. This bootstrapped tech conference should remain one of our proudest moments. It was in every way a grassroots endeavor. Our teamwork, collaboration, creativity, and resourcefulness were actually put on display. We had a whole day of breakout sessions, a ping pong tournament, a Bloody Mary bar, Red Bull everywhere you turned. Thank you, Zach Voss and Voss Distributing. But most importantly, we had an unbelievable turnout. Day 2 featured a terrific lineup of speakers, although I am sad to say that Hugh Hefner ignored my cold email to come out to Des Moines to be our keynote. Entrepreneurship, you know. Those of you who were involved in the creation of the Iowa Conference, as an organizer, a sponsor, or an attendee, if you remember this conference and you were involved, please take your glow stick and light that bad boy up. Near the end of that year, Andrew Kerpelani, whose name you might recognize from our program today, organized one of Des Moines' first startup weekends. I pitched an idea for a fashion app called Glam Snap. In just 2 days, our team had created a product. We solved a real problem. We addressed a clear, sizable market. And we even had a pithy little catchphrase, when in doubt, snap. I learned more in that one weekend than I could have imagined. I'd like to thank Andrew Kerpelani and anyone else who was involved in Startup Weekend, the launch, the execution. If you sponsored, if you attended, if you've ever attended a Startup Weekend, please go ahead and take your glow sticks. Now is your time. Volunteer Local had the opportunity to pitch our company at the Pitch and Grow competition in Central Iowa shortly after that. We won, and we used the $2,500 to launch a marketing campaign and to enhance our website. If you are here representing the John Papa John Entrepreneurial Center, I'd like to say thank you and welcome you to Snap a Glow Stick. In 2015, both myself and Justin Shane with eComagy were offered a sponsored trip to South by Southwest in Austin, Texas through the Greater Des Moines Partnership. I still remember getting that call from Meg Schneider. I was unloading groceries from the back of my little Kia Rio, and she said, "Kaylee, guess what? You're going to Austin." And I said, "Meg, I am going to Austin." The partnership paid for my flight, my accommodations, and most importantly, my badge. And then I got to work with Marco at the Des Moines Register. I wrote a daily dispatch for the innovation page. The goal was to spotlight my experience. My pitch was that I was a young Iowa woman in tech attending South by Southwest for the very first time. I hopped a plane. I slept on a sofa in a living room. I made countless connections. I pitched my company and Des Moines to literally anyone who would listen. And then I got to post up at a coffee shop at the end of each day, and I got to talk about and write about my experiences. Unbelievably, Marco published these articles without too much editing, including the one where I called Austin a nerd herd. And he even published a selfie that I texted him of me, of course, with a monkey on my shoulder, a live monkey. If you are here with the Greater Des Moines Partnership, you have my unending gratitude. And I hope you know how much you have done to support companies like Volunteer Local in this community. So all you partnership folks, please take a glow stick and snap it. When Startup City closed, I think a lot of us felt a little bit lost. Without a central space to congregate, work, share our good ideas, and get increasingly better at ping pong, how would we grow? Then, through the efforts of key leaders in our community like Jeff Wood, the next iteration of a downtown co-work blossomed, and Gravitate opened its doors. Gravitate, as many of you know, is more than a co-work. They frequently support our nonprofits, they host fundraising events, volunteer outings, they have art galleries and art shows. They provide access to helpful resources and trainings that strengthen the vitality and the knowledge base within our community. If you currently work at Gravitate, co-work at Gravitate, attend informational or educational events at Gravitate, or if you were pivotal in its implementation, if you were one of those early leaders that stood up and said, "We're going to help to create a new co-work downtown Des Moines," please take a glow stick and snap it. Last year, I had the opportunity to work directly with Mike Colwell and the many mentors who frequent Square One DSM, a different kind of co-work. This was an initiative of the Greater Des Moines Partnership. I learned how to forecast sales, make informed hiring decisions, and track the outcome of our marketing campaigns. This experience prepared me in every meaningful way to take on the title of president here at Volunteer Local. Earlier this year, I was interviewed by the Technology Association of Iowa for a podcast that they're producing called Technically Iowa. This is an effort to spotlight our women in tech, the builders, the dreamers, the leaders. If you have ever received mentorship from anyone in this community, if you have ever been a mentor to anyone in this community to help their business grow, please take a glow stick and snap it. If you're here today on behalf of the Technology Association of Iowa, thank you for all that you do to support women in tech and to support all of tech in this community. Association of Iowa folks, you can now snap your glow sticks. Since those early days in Startup City, I have lived and worked in many startup communities, and there are none quite like Des Moines. The leaders in our community are outstanding, in large part because of their willingness to reach down and lift up those of us who are just beginning. Somewhere between all those prairie portraits and tech brews, cool guy breakfast clubs and design workshops, we built something unimaginable, something bigger than all of us. You can't touch it. It's hard to measure. It's vibrant. It's a collage. It's founder support groups and First Fridays, babies in the office, and kegs in the kitchen. It's the bitter realization of failure, the euphoria of your first sale. I can feel it. Can you feel it? Lift up your glow sticks and take a look around you. We built the Des Moines startup community, and we're all here today because we understand the importance of what we've built. Because we know that it takes a community to raise a startup. Thank you.